In the third month of the Cold War with my A-list actor boyfriend, we were invited onto a reality show and told to call the person we love most. Out of spite, he called his assistant, Hannah. The internet went wild. I dialed an unknown number, a call to my mother in another world. The internet ridiculed me. Hamilton sneered. "You're an orphan." "What mother? You're so pathetic you'd hire an actress to play your own mom." I said nothing. As he watched me with that mocking expression, I ran to the window and jumped. The system had just told me. All I had to do was die in this world. Then I could finally go home and be with my mom again. To stoop so low you'd hire an actress to play your own mom, you have no shame. Host, if the body in this world dies, you can return home. The two voices echoed in my mind at the same time. I stared blankly ahead, lost for a moment. Hamilton, however, thought I was looking at him and let out a contemptuous laugh. "What's wrong? Don't tell me you don't have a single person you love most? Are you that much of a failure?" His words triggered a wave of laughter from the crew. I was the only one not laughing. He wasn't wrong. Ever since I arrived in this world and accepted the mission to win him over, my life had revolved around him. To complete the mission as quickly as possible and get back home to cure my mother, I never had time to make friends. I could only rely on him. I was like a fragile vine, clinging to him for survival. The internet had even dubbed me the world's clingiest girlfriend. During the years he loved me most, Hamilton would hold me and make promises. "Anya, I'll be with you for the rest of our lives. We'll never be apart." I believed him. Until the first time I walked in on him and Hannah kissing. He'd explained it away impatiently, his eyes fixed on Hannah's flushed cheeks. "It was just a dare from a game. Can you stop being so paranoid? There's nothing between us. Don't make it sound so sordid." We had a huge fight. Then, 3 months ago, I found them again, emerging from the bathroom together in bathrobes. I couldn't lie to myself anymore. He didn't even bother with an explanation this time. Instead, he deliberately wrapped his arm around Hannah. "All you do is argue, argue, argue. Can't you learn to be sweet and obedient like Hannah?" In that moment, I finally understood. It was over. This mission. I couldn't do it anymore. Fortunately, the system didn't force me to continue. It readily agreed to cancel the mission and even promised to uphold its end of the bargain, to cure my mother. With that, I had nothing left to hold me back. The system's voice echoed in my mind again. "Host, your mother asked me to tell you that she misses you very much." A sharp pang hit my nose, and my eyes instantly welled with tears. That's right. I did have someone I loved. My mom. And I missed her so, so much. "I want to go home," I mumbled, my voice choked with emotion. Hamilton froze, a flicker of remorse in his eyes, but his words were still sharp. "Anya, your acting skills are getting better and better." I pretended not to hear him. I stood up and walked quickly toward the window. Amid the panicked shouts of the crew and the crash of falling camera equipment, I leaped from the windowsill. I was done with Hamilton. I was done with our 5 years together. I just wanted to go home. Chapter 2. I woke to the sterile smell of antiseptic. For a moment, I thought I'd made it back. But before the joy could even register, a familiar voice shattered my hope. Unfortunately, I hadn't died. "Anya, you're going to threaten me with suicide just because I called Hannah? All I did was say a few words to you. And you were the one who started the fight. If you really wanted to die, you should have picked a higher floor. A 3-story fall won't kill you. What's with the act?" Hamilton's eyes were bloodshot. I stared at him, stunned into silence. Before I could speak, the door opened and Hannah rushed in, her face streaked with tears, looking as if she might collapse at any moment. "Anya, I'm so sorry. Hamilton was just trying to get a rise out of you, to make you jealous. That's the only reason he called me. I'll disappear. I won't bother you two ever again." With that, she gave Hamilton a look filled with sorrow and reluctance, then turned to leave. She'd only taken a few steps before Hamilton grabbed her wrist and pulled her back. His expression was grim. "This isn't your fault. Why are you leaving? Don't cry. I'll have Anya clear your name." He turned back to me, his gaze turning to ice. "Anya, because your little stunt was broadcast live, Hannah is being crucified online. You have to make a statement and explain that she's innocent. She doesn't deserve to be dragged into your mess." He continued, his voice hardening. "Everywhere she goes, people are calling her a homewrecker because of what you did. You need to apologize to her. You were in the wrong this time, and I'm not going to enable you." I almost wanted to laugh. But none of this drama mattered anymore. I tossed my phone to him, my face a mask of calm. "Fine. Post whatever you want." My voice was flat. "I just want to go home now." The system immediately responded, "Soon, host. Very soon." I closed my eyes again, shutting them out. "Get out. Both of you, get out." Chapter 3. Hamilton hesitated for a moment, but he didn't leave. He expertly unlocked my phone and quickly typed out a clarification statement. When he handed the phone back, his eyes were clouded with a complex emotion. "Anya, after all these years, your lock screen is still that same photo." I didn't speak, just glanced at the screen. It was a picture of Hamilton and me holding a birthday cake, our smiles radiant and full of love. I felt a pang of nostalgia. Back then, he wasn't a famous actor. He was running from audition to audition, working as an extra. For my birthday, he'd scraped together all his money to buy me an expensive, beautiful cake. "Anya, thank you for sticking with me," he had said. "From now on, I'll buy you the most beautiful, most expensive cake every year. We have to be together forever." He became famous and kept his promise. But somewhere along the way, the cakes and gifts became cold and sharp. They no longer tasted sweet. All that was left was a lingering, bitter aftertaste. I spent a week in the hospital, my mind consumed with finding another way to die. The day I was discharged, Hamilton came to pick me up. A crowd of his fans had gathered at the entrance. They started shouting the moment they saw me. "Go to hell, Anya. Why didn't you just die when you jumped? Such a manipulative, green tea bitch. And you have the nerve to slander Hannah? You're the real homewrecker. Who knows how many producers you slept with to get where you are?" The words went in one ear and out the other. After all these years, I was used to it. Hamilton always thought I was strong, good-tempered, and resilient. He'd praised my thick skin more than once. The truth was, I was just numb from the pain. So hurt that my face no longer showed it. We finally managed to shake the fans, and Hamilton's car pulled up in front of me. The passenger window rolled down, revealing Hannah's slightly flushed face. "Anya, hurry, get in. Your haters will be back any second. Don't get us caught in the crossfire, haha." She stuck her tongue out, grinning like a cat that had gotten the cream. Hamilton wasn't angry at all. He just smiled at Hannah, his eyes filled with an unconscious softness. The passenger seat, once exclusively mine, had been redecorated. It was now filled with small cosmetics, a makeup mirror, and Hannah's favorite bunny-eared plushie and snacks. These were all things Hamilton had forbidden me from bringing into his car. He'd claimed they could damage the interior or be misinterpreted by the paparazzi. Looking at it now, I realized the truth. It was never about the car. It was about who he loved. But it didn't matter. I took 2 steps back, hailed a taxi, and went back to the small apartment I was renting. Chapter 4. I sold most of my belongings and donated the money to a charity for underprivileged children. Just as I was preparing to slit my wrists with a shard of porcelain, the doorbell rang. Hamilton stood outside, his face dark, with a red-eyed Hannah trailing behind him. "Anya, are you determined to keep fighting with me? I honestly don't understand what I did to upset you this time." He let out a sigh, his gaze heavy as he looked at me, a hint of helplessness in his eyes. Fine. It's your birthday today, so I won't argue with you. I bought you a cake. I came to celebrate with you. Hannah blushed and stammered out a happy birthday. My gaze, however, was fixed on the necklace she was wearing. Hannah touched it, a sweet smile on her face. Hamilton gave it to me. I liked it the moment I saw it. He said it was just a little trinket, so he let me have it. Hamilton nodded, walking into the room and sitting down as if he owned the place. It was old anyway. It was just sitting around. If Hannah likes it, she can have it. Besides, I never really liked it. I froze, stunned for a moment. That was a matching couple's necklace we had bought when we first got together. It was only a few $100s, not particularly fancy, but he had treasured it. I'm going to keep this forever. It's a symbol of our love, it's special. If I ever lose it, you can punish me by never letting me see you again, okay? Every year on his birthday, he would wear that necklace with me. Last year, he stopped. I didn't ask why. I just never imagined it would end up around Hannah's neck. Chapter 5. When the cake box was opened, Hamilton froze, a flicker of panic in his eyes. I stopped his hand as he tried to close the lid. I saw the 4 words written in frosting, Happy Wedding. Happy Wedding, to Hamilton and Hannah. They must have made a mistake. Anya, you're not angry, are you? It's just a cake. We can just scrape the words off. Hannah's face paled, but when Hamilton wasn't looking, her eyes were filled with a triumphant provocation. Anya, I'm so sorry. I messed up. It's my fault for not giving the baker clear instructions. I'm so sorry. I really didn't mean for this to happen. She started to cry, her shoulders shaking. The guilt on Hamilton's face vanished, replaced by a wave of protectiveness. He gently wiped her tears away, murmuring soft, comforting words. When he saw that I wasn't speaking, his expression soured. Anya. Hannah is already crying, why are you being so cold? It's just a cake. I can just buy you another one. Can you stop being so petty? Besides, wasn't it your little suicide stunt that got her harassed online in the first place? She's already emotionally fragile, and she made the effort to come celebrate with you. Why do you have to be so difficult? I rubbed my temples, weary. My heart felt nothing. Hamilton was right. It was just a cake. A flawed one. But was the cake the only thing that was flawed? Hamilton, let's break up. He stood frozen, staring at me in disbelief. I didn't wait for him to respond. My face was pale, my voice weak. I'm going home. We won't be seeing each other again. I wish you two a long and happy life together. Crash. The water glass slipped from Hamilton's hand and shattered on the floor. He just stood there, stunned, searching my face for any sign that I was lying. Finally, his voice came out, raw and hoarse. Go home? Where would you go besides my place? You don't have a home. Anya, can you stop this? You have no parents, no family, where could you possibly go? If you don't want to apologize, just say so. I won't force you. But you can't just throw the word breakup around like it's nothing. I shook my head weakly. My body was growing heavy, my vision blurring at the edges. Panic finally seized him. Just as I was about to collapse, he rushed forward and caught me in his arms. In his haste, he kicked over the black trash can. The pool of blood I had already let spilled out, staining the floor crimson. My arm, with its freshly cut wrist, slammed onto the hard floor, sending a jolt of pain through me. Ah! Blood! So much blood! Hannah shrieked. Anya! Are you insane? Anya, who told you to kill yourself? What kind of sick game are you playing now? Anya! His voice was fading. Hamilton. Let's never meet again. Not in this lifetime or the next. Chapter 6. I never expected to open my eyes again. The doctor said I had been unconscious for a month. After Hamilton brought me to the hospital, he donated blood and refused to leave my side, watching over me day and night. On the 5th day, he finally collapsed from exhaustion. I didn't have to wait long after waking up. He got the news and rushed over. He was thinner, his condition far from good. He looked haggard. "Anya, why? The jump, and now this, why are you doing this?" I opened my mouth to speak. But the rules of the system prevented me from telling the truth. The words that came out were not the ones in my heart. "I just wanted to die, that's all," I said with a faint smile. "That's not it. I want to leave you, leave this world. I want to go home." Hamilton's eyes reddened. He gripped my hand tightly. "No. I forbid it. Anya, are you going to leave me all alone? Have you forgotten your promise to stay with me forever? How could you lie to me?" I managed a weak smile and pulled my hand away. "And I also said that if you ever cheated on me, I would leave without a second thought." He froze, his lips trembling, unable to form a response. I stopped talking to him, stopped looking at him, stopped acknowledging him altogether. All the sharp objects in the room had been removed. Even the windows were now fitted with security bars. Through the small gaps, I could watch the snow falling, heavier and heavier. "System, what is my mom doing?" "She's shoveling snow in the yard. Your father says he's going to build you the most beautiful snowman. Host, would you like to make a call?" I nodded. For the first time in what felt like an eternity, I heard my parents' voices through the phone. When I hung up, I saw Hamilton standing in the room. I didn't know how long he'd been there. His expression was dark. "Anya, who were you talking to? Mom and Dad? Aren't you an orphan? I spent years searching for you. You don't have any parents." I didn't want to talk. He didn't get angry this time. He just took my phone and redialed the number. It came back as disconnected. His expression grew even more complicated. He reached out to touch my cheek, concern in his eyes, but I flinched away. "Anya, let me get a doctor to take a look at you, okay?" I remained silent. He eventually brought in a psychiatrist. That finally got a reaction out of me. Aside from some physical weakness, Ms. Vance appears to be psychologically sound. After the doctor left, Hamilton continued to watch me with those dark, inscrutable eyes. I didn't know what he was thinking. Not that it mattered to me. "Anya," he finally whispered, "please don't leave me." Chapter 7. I slept for a long time. When I woke, my hands and feet were bound. I had been dumped in the corner of an abandoned warehouse. Hannah was with me. She wasn't panicked at all. When she saw I was awake, she stared at me with a vicious smile. "Anya, let's play a game. We've both been kidnapped. Who do you think Hamilton will choose to save?" "Oh, you don't know, do you? I'm pregnant with his child. He told me he'd take responsibility, that he'd marry me." I said nothing. Hannah's expression twisted for a moment. She stood up and slapped me hard across the face, then stomped on my recently healed leg. Pain shot through me, and my face went white. I bit down hard, refusing to scream. "You bitch," she cackled. "Huh. Look at you now. This is what you get for trying to take Hamilton from me. Faking a suicide attempt to win his sympathy? You're more cunning than I thought. Wasn't the online harassment enough for you? Wasn't being stalked enough? You just had to stick to him like glue, like some disgusting piece of gum. He doesn't love you anymore. Why won't you just get lost?" She was becoming more and more unhinged. Finally, as if to vent all her frustration, she ground her heel into my leg again. The fragile, newly healed bone gave way, twisting unnaturally. The pain was so intense I couldn't even make a sound. Hannah seemed pleased. "Do you have any idea how long I've loved him? 10 years. From high school, through his struggling days, to now. I gave him everything. Why should he end up with someone like you?" But don't worry, she said, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. Today, Hamilton will definitely choose me. I didn't care. It didn't matter who he chose. I had no intention of surviving this. But Hannah's obsessive, twisted love was genuinely startling. It explained so much about her extreme actions, the way she had systematically invaded my privacy. Then you'd better make sure you kill me, Hannah, I said, my voice steady. Because otherwise, I will spend the rest of my life clinging to Hamilton. It was hard to die by my own hand. But with a little outside help, it shouldn't be too difficult. When Hamilton arrived, Hannah had transformed herself into a pitiful wreck. She'd slapped her own face a few times and was now huddled next to me, her clothes disheveled, her body trembling. The kidnapper's knife was pressed against our throats. One small movement, and I could finally go home. Hamilton, save me! Hannah cried. I'm so scared. They hit me, it hurts so much. Please, Hamilton, save me. I'm so scared, and I'm pregnant. Hamilton's gaze was fixed on me. When the kidnapper asked him to choose, he hesitated. Anya, why did you run off on your own? I didn't answer. A flicker of anger crossed his face. His voice dropped, low and heavy. I choose Hannah. He looked at me, his eyes filled with a cold disappointment. Anya, that call you made from the hospital, you were contacting the kidnappers, weren't you? You staged this whole thing. I checked. Why would you do this? Do you hate Hannah that much? She's been innocent from the start. Why can't you just leave her alone? Why can't you try to understand my position for once? I'm saving Hannah. Maybe this time, you'll learn your lesson. When you've thought it through, you can come back on your own. And stop staging these fake suicide attempts. You don't really want to die. Otherwise, why do you only ever try when I'm around to save you? Think about it, Anya. I took a deep breath and let a small smile touch my lips. I ignored Hannah's triumphant smirk and Hamilton's dark, brooding expression. With the hand I had quietly untied, and under Hamilton's knowing, damning gaze, I reached up, grabbed the handle of the knife, and pulled it toward me. Warm liquid sprayed across my body. The kidnapper panicked, scrambling to run, only to be apprehended by the police who stormed in at that moment. Before I lost consciousness, I saw the look of pure horror on Hamilton's face. Two voices sounded at once. Anya. Congratulations, host. Return to original world successful. Chapter 8. I slept for 3 days. When I woke up, the first thing I saw were my parents' tear-streaked faces. Anya, you're finally back. Mom missed you so much. You're home, that's all that matters. You've gotten so thin. Dad will make you your favorite pot roast. Looking at their familiar, loving faces, my eyes burned. I cried for a long time before I could finally stop. On the 3rd day I was back, my dad bought me a cake, and my mom cooked a feast. The 3 of us sat together, and they watched me expectantly as I made a wish. It was different this time. I wished for my parents' health and my family's peace. During the city's last snowfall, my dad built me a plump, white snowman, just like he did when I was a child. The system, who I hadn't heard from in a while, suddenly spoke. Host, Hamilton wants to see you. I fell silent. After months of being home, I had almost forgotten the unhappiness of that other world. What happens if I don't? He carries a great deal of this world's karmic fortune. He might be able to break the laws of reality to find you. However, if the host is unwilling, the System Bureau will handle it. The System Bureau was surprisingly humane and protective of its agents. That's why even though I had abandoned the mission, they had still fulfilled their promise to save my mother and hadn't forced me to stay there. They called it protecting workers' rights. It was also why they had allowed me to call my parents. I refused. I had no intention of ever seeing Hamilton again in this lifetime. Besides, wasn't this all his own doing? He had taken my love for granted, taken advantage of the fact that I was alone, and acted as he pleased. He never thought I would actually leave. And I never thought he would actually cheat. That's why, when I left, I was so resolute. But once, a long time ago, I had genuinely wanted to stay in that world and spend my life with him. Chapter 9. Another winter came. I had taken over the grocery shopping duties. Halfway to the store, I ran into him. I don't know how long he had been standing there, how long he had been waiting. The moment he saw me, his eyes reddened uncontrollably. He strode toward me and pulled me into a tight embrace. Anya, I was wrong. Please don't leave me, okay? Don't go. I really can't lose you. Anya, I miss you so much. There was never anything between me and Hannah, he choked out, the story tumbling out in broken pieces. One time, a producer got drunk and forced her into a hotel room. I felt responsible, indebted to her. That's why I was so tolerant of her. Please, forgive me. There was nothing between us. He was sobbing, trying to explain the truth. The night Hannah was supposedly assaulted, I had been homesick with cramps and hadn't gone to the industry dinner with him. He woke up to find a traumatized Hannah about to take her own life, and he stopped her. He was consumed by guilt. That's why, during that period, everything was always my fault. That's why, even when he knew Hannah was orchestrating the online harassment against me, he still pretended it wasn't happening. Hannah was pitiful. But wasn't I? Was any of that fair to me? Her suffering, his guilt, why was I the one who had to pay the price? I calmly pushed him away and slapped him hard across the face. It wasn't enough. I slapped him again with my other hand. So? Is that supposed to be touching? Am I supposed to feel sorry for you, to understand? To go back with you and continue to tolerate your cheating? Hamilton, you've lost your mind. Hannah was hurt, you felt you had no choice. What does that have to do with me? Your mistakes, other people's mistakes, why were they all pushed onto me? Why did I have to endure all of that? Do you have any idea what those years were like for me? I was afraid to leave my house, afraid to open packages. I was afraid to even close my eyes at night. Everywhere I went, people would attack me, throw things at me. But I am my parents' cherished daughter, too. You think a single "I'm sorry" can erase all of that? The world doesn't work that way. My body trembled as I bit my lip, a wave of regret washing over me. I had misjudged him, loved the wrong person. I had been such a fool. I had treated a monster like a treasure. How ironic. The color drained from Hamilton's face. He trembled, trying to say something else, but I stepped away. Anya, I'm sorry. I honestly didn't mean for it to happen. I didn't know how hard those years were for you. I really didn't know. You did know. I said, my eyes filled with disappointment. I had been so blind to fall for someone like him. You're in the industry. No one knows better than you what online mobs are like. Hamilton, you just pretended not to know because I never complained. You saw the hate mail, you saw the threats. The knife wasn't stabbing you, so you didn't know it hurt, is that it? Then why, after I finally died, did you come looking for me? Are you a masochist? Chapter 10. I left him there and walked away. It wasn't until I was safely inside my home that the system's voice came, apologetic. Apologies, host. There was an error in the bureau. Hamilton found a loophole and escaped. It will take about a week to repair the system and send him back. I understood, but when my parents found out, they were so angry they were ready to grab a kitchen knife and go after him. They knew that I had to die to come back. They knew I had tried 3 times, enduring endless injustice. It took a long time to calm them down. The snow outside was falling harder. A neighbor suddenly shouted and came knocking, pulling me downstairs with a playful look in her eyes. It was only when I was outside that I saw what Hamilton had done. He had built a large sculpture out of snow, a bouquet of roses, and had used paint to color them. The neighbors were all cooing. Hamilton's ears turned red. Oh, young people are so romantic. Building snow roses in a blizzard. Yes. Anya, when did you get such a wonderful boyfriend? Don't just leave him out in the cold. My face was a mask of stone. Sensing my mood, the neighbor's chatter slowly died down. Hamilton looked at me, his face flushed, and stammered, Anya, please forgive me. I've explained everything. Can you just give me one more chance? Come home with me? Can we stop fighting? When we go back, I'll send Hannah away. There won't be anyone between us ever again. It's been 5 years, we should be getting married. Let's never be apart again, okay? I remained silent. I looked at him coldly, walked forward, and slapped him again. The world went quiet. Surprisingly, Hamilton wasn't angry. He just turned his head back to me and smiled, tears glistening in his eyes. As long as it makes you feel better, you can hit me as much as you want. Just don't leave me, okay? Anya, I can't lose you. I really, really love you. He finished, and I slapped him again. Someone tried to intervene, but I ignored them. Hamilton, are you done with your act? His face went white. Did you think of this day when you were cheating on me? When you were protecting Hannah? Am I that pathetic? Do you think all you have to do is beg and I'll forgive you? How old are you? Can you listen for once? I don't like you anymore. I will never be with you again. I hate you. I think you're dirty and disgusting. Do you understand? I took 2 steps closer, until I was right in front of him. I looked into his crumbling, desperate eyes and spoke, my voice devoid of all emotion. I killed myself 3 times, Hamilton. All to get away from you. You're the fool who didn't get the message. Chapter 11. I turned and went back upstairs. The neighbors apologized to me. Hamilton, who just moments ago had been the perfect boyfriend, was now the target of their scorn. Someone from an upper floor dumped a bucket of water on him, soaking him to the bone. He stood there, pale and shivering, looking like he might collapse. But I felt no sympathy. I had been doused with ice water in the winter in that other world. I had been more desperate, in more pain. And I still had to drag myself home, change my clothes, and pretend nothing had happened so he wouldn't worry. The boomerang had finally come back and hit him. For 2 days, I didn't go out, and I didn't see him. On the 3rd day, it was my birthday again. My dad bought a cake first thing in the morning, my mom bought flowers, and we decided to go out to eat. I never expected to see Hamilton at the restaurant. He was wearing a waiter's uniform, his hands clenched nervously. When he saw me, a light flickered in his eyes, but it dimmed when he saw my parents. Anya, you're here for dinner? I didn't speak. My parents didn't either. They now knew what he looked like. The most they could do was refrain from seeking revenge. Hamilton didn't seem to mind. He smiled and poured us water, his service shockingly attentive. It was then that I remembered. When he was just starting out as an actor, he had worked part-time as a waiter to make ends meet. He was a natural. Happy birthday, Anya. Mom and Dad are here to celebrate another year with you. Our Anya must be healthy and happy. My mom held the cake, her eyes misty. Hamilton froze, staring blankly as I made my wish. Anya, wasn't your birthday a few months ago? I smiled and shook my head. How could it be? The birthdays I celebrated in that other world were never really mine. As we were leaving, Hamilton looked at me with red-rimmed eyes, as if searching for a sign that I still loved him. Anya, why was even your birthday a lie? It doesn't matter. Let me celebrate with you from now on, okay? Even if it's just letting me be near you. I just want to be with you. Please, give me one more chance. Just let me see you every day. I know you hate me. I know I was wrong and I've paid the price. Your system found out the truth. Hannah was never assaulted that day. It was all an act she orchestrated. Anya, it's all my fault. I was so stupid. We ruined what we had. I was shocked to hear it. Hannah's love for Hamilton was so obsessive that she would go to such lengths, but the shock was fleeting. I took the matching couple's necklace out of my pocket. The system had let me bring it back, thinking it was something I treasured. But not anymore. Hamilton recognized it. He must have also remembered where his half had gone. His face grew even paler, as if he might faint at any moment. Anya, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Anya. I failed you. It was all my fault. I'm begging you, please forgive me. Please, just give me one more chance. We were so in love. Please don't let us be apart. I really don't want to lose you. I'll get the necklace back. Just please, don't leave me. I shook my head. I tossed the necklace into the nearby decorative fountain. Hamilton, let's never see each other again. Chapter 12. That night, I got a call from the hospital. Hamilton had jumped into the fountain and spent the afternoon searching for the necklace. He now had a high fever and was deliriously calling my name. He was still unconscious when I arrived, lying fragilely in the hospital bed, muttering in his sleep. After paying the bill, I sat by the window watching the heavy snow fall outside. I didn't understand why he would jump into a fountain for a necklace. I didn't understand why he would call my name in his sleep. It did nothing but cause me more trouble. He didn't love me when I loved him. Now that I didn't love him, he was filled with regret. If that wasn't pathetic, what was? But I glanced at the time. It was almost midnight. The system had said that after midnight, it could send Hamilton back. At 20 minutes to 12, Hamilton woke up. When he saw me in the room, a light ignited in his eyes, a smile touching his lips. Anya, you came. I knew you couldn't bear to leave me. You do still love me, right? Please, just give me one more chance. The very last one. I promise I'll love you right. I'll never get entangled with anyone else again. Anya, we've been through so much together. I can't forget it. And I don't believe you could just let go of me, forget our past, so quickly. Please don't give up on me. I really can't lose you. That day, when you were lying there, covered in blood, I couldn't stop the bleeding. I kept calling your name, but you wouldn't answer. I was so scared, Anya. So scared. I can't lose you a second time. As he spoke, tears welled in his eyes, streaming down his cheeks. I stared at him, and for a fleeting moment, I saw the Hamilton I used to know. Strong, determined. But then I blinked, and he was just the broken, pained man in front of me. Things had changed. A broken mirror can't be made whole again. Even if you piece it back together, the cracks will always be there. A relationship that had already been destroyed, could it ever be fixed by simply getting back together? No. Besides, suicide was painful. Agonizing. It was something I could never endure again. Hamilton, after today, I will never see you again. Let's end it here. At the same time, the system's voice chimed in. Host. The Bureau has repaired the error. Commencing transfer of Hamilton back to his world. I nodded and smiled. Hamilton's expression contorted, a mixture of a sob and a laugh. Anya, are you really done with me? I promise I'll be better. I'll love you right. I'll be a good boyfriend, a perfect husband. I shook my head. Go back. Just before his body disappeared, he seemed to finally accept it. He just stared at me, his eyes full of a deep, abiding sorrow. Be happy, Anya. You too, I replied. He just shook his head softly, his eyes full of longing. I don't need to be. I'll spend my life remembering you. Ding. Correction successful. Chapter 13. After the correction, all records of Hamilton's hospital stay vanished. No one had any memory of him ever being there. I started a new life with my parents. I made sure they had regular checkups and paid close attention to our health and well-being. The system officially detached from me a year later. By then, in that other world, Hannah had been sent to prison. Hamilton had retired from acting. The internet was filled with memorials for me, with clarifications of the truth. Through the slow process of public revisionism, I became a tragic, pitted figure in that world. It was laughable. Before it left, the system said something thoughtful. In the vast expanse of realities, I have seen so many broken mirrors pieced back together. You are the first one who did not soften, who did not get back together with him. I almost laughed. And what happened to them? The ones who got back together? The system was silent for a long time. They never have a happy ending. Their marriages are unhappy. Their children are unhappy. They might find some comfort in their later years, but their happiness index is always low. That's right. There are no perfect endings between people. Maybe one day, when I am old, I will look back on my past and think of Hamilton. Maybe one day, I will regret the choices I made today. But thankfully, today is not that day. As it left, the system relayed one last message from him. In the next life, can we meet again? I didn't answer. I couldn't. But if I had to, the answer would be no. My life fell into a peaceful rhythm. I became just another ordinary person in the vast sea of humanity. When I turned 30, my parents started to worry about me getting married. After much persuasion, they finally agreed to let it go. You learn from your mistakes. I had suffered for so long there was no reason to suffer again. Once they accepted that I wouldn't marry, I started to travel. To see the world. The end.